I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We having some kind of technical issues because this is not streaming everywhere it's supposed to go right now.
Oof.
And so I'm gonna let you guys do your thing. I'm gonna be in the backstage arguing with this stupid computer.
Let's get started here. Let's pull Mr. Charles Moise on.
That can
Mr.
be helpful.
Charles. And joining us today is Dan. I'm saying Sane. Is that right?
Sen, just a silent H.
Okay. Dan Sen from Argo Comics.
Oh my gosh, that is such a cool name, Argo.
Give us a little introduction, man.
Yeah, well, been with Argo Comics now. We're celebrating our 20th year of publishing. So, yeah, in that time, over 100 books published,
Nice.
and mainly, yes, Argo 5 is our premier title. I'm lettering issue 47 of that.
Woo!
And right now we have Sorority of Power on Kickstarter, which we had 15 issues of that. I brought in a all new 16th issue just to be Kickstarter exclusive, give the people who already have followed us something new. So we have issue 16 exclusively, and the trade paperback collecting issues 1 through 5. And their first appearance, which was an anthology appearance, was like 8 pages. So we have that included as well.
Cool. Very cool. What's give us a little idea what your stuff's about, man.
Yeah, well,
tea.
Sorority of Power, and I have issue 1 right here. Okay, and this was the wraparound cover that we had. Okay, it's by Bill Mouse, who is known for Nera X, his own creator and title. Which
I vaguely remember Nera X.
Yeah, she's
Wasn't
coming
that
out of Zen.
okay?
Well, don't worry, we're friends with Nera X, Bill Moss, and those people. They're all cool with us. We promote them too.
That looks like
I'm glad
a
Pop
hell of a lot of
everybody,
fun.
'cause I don't know one.
We just do the thing. We do the thing. Art, where's Art? Do you have Art? Are you sharing a screen with us today?
Let's see. Let me pop over here.
I think he forgot why he was here.
I have so much stuff going on. It's just stupid. Let's do window. Share Clip Studio. And I'm going to take that one down before they see it on a stream and get mad at me.
That would be good.
So, oof. Oh, man. Yeah, some
Plus, it's definitely a lot of fun.
some of my clients will get a little testy if I happen to have something out on live stream. They're like, don't show it until we're ready to show it.
Yeah, I've been there where you don't want the spoilers, but you do want to promote. It's kind of like a
It's a hard call.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but yeah, I've seen your work. It's very detailed and just you say you're in the Bernie Wrightson
Yes.
school of art, which is a great place to be. But that those Angel Hunter pages I've seen have been amazing.
What's kind of wild is he's also working to reach the speed of Kirby.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, 4 pages a day like this.
My goal is to be able to do this kind of work, do 4 pages a day. Like 4 pages a day. What is it? There was a stupid thing that I say to myself is like Wrightson quality at Bernie speed. That's the goal. Is it attainable? Probably not, but I'm shooting.
Yes, it is. With you, it is. Yeah, because
I'll let other people be the judge of that, but I'm certainly trying.
Yeah.
That's a tall order to fill.
Your most favorite character is down on his feet.
Oh yeah, the forearm guy.
How happy were you to draw that image?
Oh, he's dead. I don't have to draw him again.
That's what I meant. How happy were you drawing that image?
I was very happy.
You're like, I'm going to put a little extra work in him. Goodbye.
Oh, this page right here. I live streamed this one the other day, about half of it.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
So Dan, what got you into comics?
Yeah, and I'd have to say it's beyond my recollection. If parents were buying me comics before I can recall.
Yeah.
And it's not like my father was fanatical about them or anything. But they did. I just remember being very young, and if I was quiet throughout church, I would get a comic afterwards.
Oh boy.
At the candy store or a stationery store, whatever you call them back then. So yeah, I mean, I was buying comics and drawing, but I mainly do the writing at this point. I did draw my first issue of Argo 5, but I knew that at my speed and level of expertise that I wouldn't be able to publish regularly drawing it myself. So I became writer, publisher, editor, letterer. There's enough hats to wear, and handed over the art to the more talented and full-time people, I'd say, that have the time to, because, as you can see with his pages here, and trying to do that in, 4 pages a day, that's like, an extreme undertaking.
Intimidatingly impressive. But, now what's really funny about your story, Dan, is, hey, Les, are you sure you're not interviewing me and I'm just wearing a mask? His story sounds very parallel to my story, which is hysterical. I mean, it's awesome. When I'm a cartoonist, I want this type of style. My style doesn't match. I'll hire this person. I'll hire that person. I'll hire this person. Then it's like I almost don't draw comics anymore. It's like and then after a while you're like, is my skill good enough? But the fact that you have 100 books out there, that's highly impressive. Les is trying to catch up. I think he's going to have 98 books by the end of the year.
Yeah. Nah, I think right now in 2025, I've got no fewer than 6 books coming out this year.
Right. And how many of them are graphic novels that are 100 pages?
Yeah, that's the thing is like I'm talking about when I say books, I'm not talking about floppies. I'm usually talking about full graphic novels. So
so if you divided those floppies 6 times 4, which is the average, is 24 books in a year. So that's pretty good. So you've doubled the speed. Marvel would be like, oh, how can we exploit you? Maybe we could have you draw the Lord of the Underwear Men, or something like that with the way Marvel is lately.
Last week I finally broke the 600 page mark for the last year.
Good.
So in the last year I've drawn somewhere around in the last 23 months I've drawn over 600 pages. In the last year I probably did at least 400. I'd have to sit and figure it up.
He's a drawing feat, which I love. So Dan, how have you been able to conquer marketing? Do you do Kickstarters? Do you do Indiegogo? Do you do a combination of all? Do you sell at conventions? Do you distribute through Diamond? What has been your path to success?
When I started, Kickstarter wasn't really a thing. So I was basically doing the convention circuit, and I was printing through Kablam. So they have online sales through their Indie Planet. If you look up or Google search Argo Comics Indie Planet with a Y on Indie, not the IE.
That's true.
Then you'll have you'll see the majority of the books that I've produced. Now I did start another imprint, Thunder Zone, which I have books that I've created, but there are also it's like a shared universe, a bit like the early Image universe where you had the Wildstorm Studio and the Extreme Studio and McFarlane Productions. So I have a number of creators, myself included. We have books in that line, and it's a shared universe where they may interact. Whereas my Argo comics are just my creations.
That's cool.
But yeah, the conventions, I did that for a while, and living in New York at the time, I did a number of the New York Comic-Cons.
Oh man, those are fun.
Yeah, it was, and I guess in the later ones, being that Bill Mouse was drawing Sorority of Power.
Oh yeah,
had him at the table with me, so I wasn't doing convention commissions at that point. I just turned the art over to him, and I was just there to promote the book at that point.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool. You got some. I don't know if guests can screen share or not, but if you've got some good, I think you can.
I don't know.
Definitely put some stuff on screen to share with folks.
Yeah, we want to see your stuff because we're fans of your work.
Yeah, usually if I'm on a show, they just pull up the campaign.
Hold on. Down below, are you using your? Hold up, Charles. Hold up. Dan, are you using your phone or a computer?
Computer, desktop.
Okay, right down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little bar of commands, and one of them says present.
Yep.
You click on that, it'll give you a drop-down menu that gives you an option to share screen.
Okay.
Any windows you have open, you can share.
Okay, let's see.
If not, just drop a link in the private chat and I'll share it if you can't get it figured out.
I just got to get to the Kickstarter page now.
I didn't even know you had a Kickstarter. You're supposed to be dropping that link in the madness every day, bro. Every day.
Yeah, Les is going to be having his first Kickstarter soon.
That's what that Facebook group is for you guys to drop your links every freaking day.
Oh.
Every day.
You have someplace to drop the links, you're saying?
Yeah. You can put it in the private chat and I'll share it.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is we have the Madness Facebook group, and that it is for self-promotion. It
is
for you guys to go out and say, hey, my Kickstarter's live.
Yeah, no, I've watched the channel, but I didn't even know that was there, so I'll have to...
Yeah. It's for people like us, the cool ones, not the...
about 3,000 of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good-sized group. The scroll moves. That's why I ask people to drop their link at least once a day, because tomorrow that thing's gone.
Yeah.
It's buried, you know, under 20 other people's stuff. So you got to put it up there every day, man. That's what the Madness Comic Network on Facebook, that's what that group is for.
Now, with this, is this one currently live, or it's one that you did recently?
Currently live.
Oh, great.
Currently live.
Wow.
Excuse me, guys. It is super cold down here today, and it has made me yawning all morning. It's
really, I do the opposite. It invigorates me. It's the heat that kills me.
Yeah, you freaking polar bear.
Woo!
Let me just see about scrolling. Yeah, it's currently live. It is funded, but we do have stretch goals we're trying to achieve. So,
cool.
Let's see. I guess I have to scroll myself. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, I can share it if you'd rather me mess with it while you talk. I can do that.
No, I can scroll. Okay, so I just have to jump back and forth. So these three right here are sorority sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. And these three are pledges. So I'll show some preview pages that I have up here.
Yeah.
And it does show that, you know, there's, for anyone who's gone to college, there's Rush Week, where they try to encourage you to join different clubs and fraternities, sororities. So issue 1 opens up with Rush Week, and these three are at a booth trying to recruit new members. That's what, you know, everyone does at Rush Week, try to recruit incoming freshmen for their activities. What?
You gotta have them pledges. You gotta have them pledges both on Rush Week and on your campaign. You gotta put on your campaign too. Pledges, people. Pledges.
Yeah, no, undoubtedly. This was actually the first appearance in an anthology, Argo Comics Anthology number 2. So Luisa Russo did the art on that. Miguel Marquez on the colors. And then here's where Bill Mouse stepped in on issue 1. And this is like Rush Week, where it's Argo University. Students are entering Rush Week, and then we have different activities like you'd see at a college, but just a little askew. So we have the intergalactic intramural football team. We have mystic arts and witchcrafts. So
Oh my God, that's great.
yeah, it was real fun coming up with these little, play on different college activities.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
So, and there you have the Sorority of Power has their table.
Mm.
And, as I said, we have the 3 sorority sisters.
Yeah,
Lady Blackstar, Crush, Miss Molecule.
Miss Molecule. Does she shrink them to the size of a molecule?
No, actually, Miss Molecule has the ability to affect inorganic molecules.
Oh, wow.
But, the more the volume or denser the item, the tougher it is.
Yeah.
And also, she couldn't make like a complicated structure like a car or something, just more like easier for like liquid directly to gas or solid, but going from solid to gas is trickier. So there are limitations. But being that, well, I'll explain that later. But talking of shrinking, there's Mushka, the Russian studying abroad, and she can shrink to the size of a mouse.
Nice.
And Leopard Lass is another one in the group. And Cybersuit, you can't really see her in this particular page, but she's again another pledge. There they are, asking if they want to join up. Miss Molecule, Cybersuit is a little hesitant. She's a little more of a geek, where she's just there to study and learn.
Yeah.
And Leopard Lass is like, no, we're ready to join. And see, we'll go to issue. Well, again, I just have some preview pages. There's, of course, more to that story, but issue 2, we open up at Argo Comics University again. And now Cybersuit is encountering another student who we find out that she is a member of another sorority, the Manga Anime Delta sorority, which has a lot of the manga archetypes that
this has me asking questions. Are there sororities at the Koepp school? Do we have different factions at the Koepp school?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I gotta know.
like a Jill, the creator of Fairy Godmother, or what was that? The witch character. I forgot it.
I could just see it. Like all the people that want to get into manga are over there pledging to the manga sorority, and the people. It just opened things up for me. Is that what you're going for here, Dan? What do you got?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I have friends who went to the School of Visual Arts, but I didn't have any friends going to the Koepp school. So, yeah, I'm not.
If I had
really
life
sure.
to live over again, I'd go to the Koepp school.
Yeah,
it's like the only college I can think of that I actually would
enjoy,
really get something out of.
Well, before it was around, though, the School of Visual Arts was the place to go. My friend who went there, I mean, Will Eisner taught there. Gene Colan.
Wow, that would be cool.
That would actually be worth it, just, because everybody who watches this knows they hear me talk. I think at least once a week I say something about Will Eisner.
Yeah.
Levi says pencils versus inkers. Pencils versus inkers at the Koepp school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the School of Visual Arts. Like I said, that before the Koepp school was around, that was the place to go. And, Yeah, my friend took classes from Will Eisner and
Cool.
Gene Colan. So
He's Poland. Wow.
Yeah,
Hey.
Gene, I recently had a very fortunate opportunity where Gene Colan and his work on I think it was Tomb of Dracula. Yeah, it was Tomb of Dracula.
Yeah.
That, I mean, just very formative for me. I had a gentleman at a show wanted to buy some of my paintings, and he made me an offer. I made him a counter offer. And the difference between his offer and my counter offer was precisely enough that his return offer, instead of the full amount of cash, was his cash offer plus a really kick-ass condition copy of Tomb of Dracula #1.
uh,
And I'm like, sold. Sold. Done. Love that book.
no, undoubtedly. That's Colan was supposedly tough for inkers to figure out, but just amazing work.
Inkers, schminkers.
Inkers are very important, and
That's why I ink myself.
Yeah, because an inker can destroy beautiful pages, or an inker can make poorly drawn things look beautiful.
I have seen some absolute dog shit pencils get put in the hands of a great inker.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I'll say to the inker, I'm like, why aren't you penciling? Because you did all the work on that.
Yeah, I guess that's when it comes down to like people who do breakdowns, and the inker is an artist themselves and can take it from breakdowns all the way to the finish line.
Well, yeah, it works both ways too, though. It works both ways too, though. I've seen some inkers just blot out some great line work.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you hire an inker, obviously you're going to hire somebody that you know is not going to hurt your product. And in some cases, some guys draw rough because they know the inker they're going to use is going to fix that anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's who you work with. You know the people you work with. You know what you can skimp on as a penciler that the inker will pick up. What you can do as a penciler that the inker won't mess with. You see what I'm saying? You hire somebody that you know is not going to damage your product. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It works both ways. It does.
No, very true. This page was actually penciled and inked by the same artist, and most of the time that's what I'm looking to do, being that, you know, I will get inquiries from inkers, but at this level, you know, when you're like a garage indie, you can't really be mailing pages, you know, around.
Oh, yeah.
Production line is, unless you're a digital inker, that can be done, but otherwise, you know, it has to come in to me, penciled and inked.
Can you imagine back in the day when they had to do everything FedEx? They had to ship stuff to each other.
Yeah,
and
that's when I started. That's how it was when I started, and it sucked ass.
Well, that's why the studios were so popular back in the day, because then they could just
pass it
hand it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was partially working at Kinko's, and I was getting involved with designs for a anime convention, doing their books. I was able to have some of them use phone lines, you know, to send things, but you know, the FedEx shipping, you know, next day air was essential. But yeah, having to wait 24 hours, or I would drive 2 or 3 hours to pick up something because it saved time instead of having to wait.
Hey, we still do that today.
Well, like I said, this was T.G. Sangalang who did the art and inks on this. Miguel Marquez did the colors. And yeah, T.G. had done some work on image and everything like that. So he was a really great person to collaborate with. We did a few books. The next issue was like Raphael Lanhellis doing the art. Miguel Marquez still doing the colors. And again, it's like a regular campus. but things are a little askew where we have, it seems like some Universal Monsters playing Frisbee, or teenage versions of Universal Monsters playing Frisbee. So I always try to like bring it to a relatable college thing. Like again, the sororities might do a car wash, so to raise funds on a university. So
that's great.
here's the sorority of power doing a car wash. And then we have Miss Molecule using her powers over molecules to clean a car. We have Leopard Lath washing a car, and we have Mushka unwillingly helping her wash a car. So, you know, a little comedy, a little saucy sometimes, but that's part of the appeal. And, you know, a cat and mouse are sometimes going to have a little rivalry. So, yeah, so it's natural for that to occur. Let's see. Then we go to the next issue, which was Bill Mouse back on the art, and Giuseppe Pica providing the colors. And, you know, I try to keep some continuity going. There's, from issue 1, the character was at the table for the Mystic Arts and Witchcrafts table, so she's battling them. The fight is going on, goes a little wrong for them. And she's about to cast a spell. Mushka is able to jump on her hand and kind of stop her from casting a spell, allowing Lady Blackstar to jump in and claim victory. T.G. Sangalang was back. We had guest appearance by the Teen Machine, which was characters I had in another book. And then we have Sorority Power number 16. As I said, Kickstarter exclusive. So this is a homage cover. So I call it the New Mutates cover. And Rob Liefeld, who's actually done a cover for Argo 5.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, had some pinups by him. Always was a favorite.
Did you draw any feet?
Yep, the feet are on that
cover. Damn, man. Rob's come a long way. He started drawing feet.
If I had the book, let's see. It's in the second trade of Argo 5. There it is. Well, I'll bring that back later when I'm on the screen. But so yeah, we have that cover, and we have what I call our face talk cover, so I don't get in a lawsuit from any particular social media company. They're doing a face talk dance on this cover by Andre Leal. Oh, I should mention that the other cover here is by the interior artist Rob Banbury. So he does the story in this issue, and he does the main cover. As I said, the face stock variant. We had a level, I think there might be one spot left, because it's almost sold out, where we'll do a custom cover, a variant, where other people's superheroines will be on the cover with one of the sorority members. So I give people, awesome. Yeah, with their own original creation, a chance to be in. We did achieve this stretch goal with the new Bill Mouse Miss Molecule cover.
Okay.
At 3,000. At 4,000, we have adding in this Mushka cover by Eric Blake. So yeah, that's like a an add-on if we make those goals, which we made this one, and always good to have some additional choices. A lot of people do the stickers or buttons and stuff like that, and just because I'm not particularly one for that, I like to have these variant covers made available through the stretch goals.
If I may ask, what is your? I mean, we could always look at the Kickstarters. I noticed that a lot of books tend to average or tap out between $3,000 to $5,000. Has that been true for you also, or have you broken that ceiling and gotten to 7,000, 8,000, 100,000, 10,000? Because I've seen it.
800,
Yeah, no, not for myself. While there are like some name creators, covers and pinups, and I definitely choose talent that I believe is worthy of a bigger audience. They don't come usually with the name. Bill being the exception, most of them don't usually come with the name that. Again, it's a familiarity that people might have for a big two creator, which again I'll have pinups and covers from, but not the story. And sometimes people go with what they know in that respect, or on the other side of it, I mean, sorority does maintain PG to maybe very soft R. So when those bigger numbers seem to often come to the comics that push it a little beyond that, and really, again, there's some sexiness in here and everything like that, but it's not the straightly overt salacious material that might seems to garner some bigger numbers. I've seen some of the campaigns, and I'm not here to knock other creators. Everyone's doing what they love to do, hopefully, where it's more like it's selling trading cards just on the covers, because
that's cool.
I saw one campaign, they just have one interior page. It's pretty bad, and they're doing big numbers just with variant upon variant that has the nude, which I'm not against. I'm not really
I'm not
nude or anything,
but I'm not for it either. Yeah. I think that there's a big thing about for me personally. It's always been I would like to see what we do with graphic novels as being taken just a little more seriously.
Agreed.
And there's a lot of stuff out there that, I mean, sometimes I'm even involved with some stuff that I'm like, okay, yeah, that's definitely not going to further that goal.
No.
But I don't know. There's something about that too much of that kind of thing, I think, cheapens the medium.
Interesting. You know what? I'd have to agree with that. I would.
I mean,
it's like one of the things that I'm starting to do is I'm doing a couple more floppies for Kickstarters. I'm actually getting ready to just launch a little one just for fun. But having graphic novels, hardbacks, I really think is the way to go. It's a larger ticket item when you're at a convention.
But it has no collectible value, and comic people collect comics.
Right.
It's different mediums.
Right.
And I do suggest that people do make trades, but after you've put out the floppies.
Yeah. Which is much different.
I personally have zero desire to put out floppies.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
And you see, I have no desire to buy graphic novels because they don't sit on your shelf uniformly. Everybody gives you different sizes. They're all different. Everything's messed up. there's no resale value. There's no collectible value to them. So I got to have the comic book, man.
Yeah. For me, with the resale and collectability, I'm disinterested in that. What I'm interested in is, okay, for example, there's a floppy I did that's newsprint. $1.50 a cover on it. And I would often say, hey, you got $1? Somebody would say, yes, yeah, pull it out. I'll trade you for this. And I'd get a quick sale. Now, over a year, I sold 10,000 books, which means I made $10,000. But let's say that I had a $25 ticket item for the book. And I'm like, hey, you got $20. I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? I'll tell you what, I'll do this at a discount. And let's say that my cost is much lower. I'm still way ahead. And I'm moving through one sale, $20 instead of $1. So, that's the thing for me is it's easier to get to the larger dollars with a graphic novel.
But you won't get as many people.
Right.
So it's still the same thing. And if you're not providing both to both audiences, you're not getting the money you could be.
Well, I think
there's an audience for floppies that could care less about graphic novels.
Well,
there's an audience for graphic novels that could care less about floppies.
Yeah.
But if you're not providing product to both, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's why I'm doing this trade paperback, is the fact that I've had these as floppies for years, and there are the people who just want it as a collection. So
that's what you do after you've made your floppies. You put together your trade and you sell it to those people that aren't interested in floppies, but they still want your work. You see,
now, another side of
comics, I just have to remind people that this is comics.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I kind of do now,
it might turn into a graphic novel, but it started as a comic. And if you don't give those comic fans that comic, you might lose them before you ever get your graphic novel done.
Yeah, I actually disagree with that. But
but I'm a comic collector and a floppy guy. So if you're not that guy, how can you argue with it? You don't know.
Well, it's different markets. For example,
that's why I say you got to go to both. That's what I'm saying. You got to feed both.
Yeah,
you can't just feed one or the other. It's
shooting
yourself in the foot financially.
When you're in the business of publishing the stuff, a lot of times, like if I give the specific examples, I'll get in trouble with people. So I'm gonna kind of couch this a little bit. There's 3 different books that I've worked on in the last 2 years that went out as floppies before they did anything as graphic novels. And like clockwork, issue 1 sold. Issue 1 sells well as floppies.
Yep.
Everything else is dead.
Yep.
Everything else.
I'm going to tell you why that is. And I'll tell you honestly why that is. As a comic collector, I can promote the hell out of book 1. I can help you sell book 1 because nobody's read it yet.
Yeah.
After it's been read, it's on your talent and your skill whether or not that book sells anymore. Okay?
Of course, that's a huge component of it.
Right.
But there's also the fact that when you put out an issue number 2, that same month there's going to be other issue number 1s come out.
Yeah.
The collectability factor makes them automatically more interesting.
Indie comics don't have.
Yeah.
Indie comics don't have that number 1 collectible factor unless they're already telling you there's going to be 20 books.
Yeah.
Okay. Indie comics and Marvel and DC are 2 entirely different things when it comes to that. Marvel going to throw all kinds of number 1s at you just because they think we're going to jump on every number 1. That's not how it works as a collector. It really doesn't. As a matter of fact, flooding the market with 1 million number 1s in the 90s is why people aren't so eager to jump on an indie comic today.
Oh boy.
Because there's a number 1 every other day of a different series. But the ones people like Carissa that come out here and told us she's going to do 80 issues of this book and she's on issue number 13 in 2 years. You got to understand, people are getting on that. She just passed her first time at 200 backers, just went over $6,000. What you were talking about, Charles, that's based on longevity. That's based on putting comics in people's hands. You want number 2, 3, 4, 5, 13 to sell, you got to be out there and you got to be telling people, we're going to keep doing this. Keep getting behind this because we're going to keep doing this. And she's on point, bro.
Corissa is.
She's at 11K right now on her book, on this book, 13. She's only been doing this for 2 years.
She's got she's got an issue coming up that I did the cover to.
The Western one. That's the one that's live right now. That's what I'm talking about, though. She started doing this 2 years ago. She put out a book every 2 months. Every 2 months, like clockwork. And now she has the following that's going to finance that shit going forward. You see, it's like she put in the work, though. She did, and there's trade paperbacks. Every time she gets 4 or 5 done, she pops out a trade. She's covering both crowds of fans. She's getting to everybody, and that's what I'm saying. You got to do. You can't just go one or the other because it's going to hurt your wallet. I mean, from a collector's point of view, if all you're going to give me is a trade, I might read it. I might get the PDF and read it. But I got no reason to put it on my shelf because the books next to it aren't the same size. No matter if you do it alphabetical, if you do it by creator or by title, it doesn't matter. All them books, they print them all different. And they look stupid on your shelf. I'm just saying. Just saying. They don't look good. At least your comics, they go in a box. They all fit there. They all fit uniformly, nicely. Yeah, but it's just different with the trades. I can't.
That's why I like the trades being comic size, because then
if they were uniform size, that would help.
If you want to put them in a long box, they're fine. They look all good next to each other on a bookshelf. So
it's you got them digest size, you got them freaking giant size, magazine size. Everybody's doing something different to look cool, and that's cool until you got trying to put them in a bookshelf.
And part of that's been brought about by the manga thing.
Yeah,
the manga stuff doing the digest thing, but now reaching younger readers, which this is another part of that whole conversation, is if you want to reach younger readers. I mean, like I've got Angel Hunter right now. That
awesome book.
That I'm super happy with it. Angel Hunter's not doing floppies at all.
No,
Angel Hunter is 100-page manga graphic novel. It's an American manga. And there's a good chance that it may actually end up going out digest size. It just depends on a number of financial things about it. But you can take a manga and print it digest size on cheaper paper, do black and white. Like, you can lower your production cost through the floor.
Well, see, it's supposed to be, the whole thing is manga understands the ancient American Western comic of disposable medium.
Yeah.
Manga is a disposable medium. It's not a collectible medium, although there are people that collect them, obviously, but that's not the purpose of it. It's a disposable medium. It's supposed to be something you give to your buddy to read, like we used to with our comics. We didn't collect when we were kids. We passed them around. They got beat up. They got read.
Well, and the irony of that is that that's what ended up making them collectible, is that if you could find them in good shape, it's like, I pray for the day that comics start getting printed on rot gut paper again.
Well, see, I thought about that. I thought about that too. I'm like, look, guys, you guys are out here with this 100 stock for your covers and 80 for pages, and you're making these beautiful productions, but that's not what comics were. These are like beautiful comic magazines that people make today with their indies. Comics were disposable. They were made cheap. They were made cheaply with a couple of staples and some, pretty neat paper, and we loved them. We loved them. We bought them. You know what I mean? It's like, and what Lori says here is one of her fans doesn't even open the floppies that they buy from her. They wait till the trade to read the book. But they still collect those floppies. Do you see what I'm saying? They bought them floppies and they kept them sealed up, never even opened them up because of the collectible value. I'm gonna read the trade when it gets here. You see what I'm saying? Is you have a lot of fans, a lot of fans leaning that way right now.
I mean, I do love the old school comics, and definitely started collecting at that point. But just the one thing is, though, that with the oncoming of computer coloring and a lot of these, more technical printing processes, sometimes, even what was the first book that had the better paper and all that? Marvel Fanfare, right? They came out.
Oh man, that was good. Or Epic Comics. Yeah. I loved Epic.
Yeah, but Marvel Fanfare was, I think, still part of the regular line, but they were bringing in
did what they called their prestige format.
Exactly.
I would love to see that again. That was like one step up in paper. It wasn't glossy. It looked good and it felt good, and it was reserved for the more mature books.
Yeah,
and Mike Golden was in there and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean,
that stuff
it'd be fun to do B5 in that size, and I got some wild plans for a B5 that I'll talk to Pop privately about.
I'm just not sure that with that old pulpy paper, if the computer coloring, I think some projects, the better paper stock will, help out, and some don't really need it. Depending on what you're presenting.
Like your book would be
since most of what I do is horror.
Yeah.
Like
horror looks great in black and white.
And the style that I like doing, I adapt stylistically to what the client needs. But left to my own devices, I'm going to do stuff that has a density of line that is in the neighborhood of Bernie Wrightson or some of like Frank Cho's stuff. Sometimes when he gets super liney, I love doing that stuff. And the glossy paper kills it. The modern glossy papers, I think, look like crap with that. Whereas you go with an older paper and just print in black and white, I'm tired of color. Tired of color comics. All the colors are overdone. They're over processed.
That's what I meant. It's like everybody's trying to make every panel masterpiece.
Well, as an artist, I try to make every panel a masterpiece. I mean, that's cool. But the thing with the colors is like, I'm a little sick of everything has a knockout. And if you don't know what the term knockout is, knockout is when you take the black lines from the inks and then you make those colored along with the other colors. I'm like, stop stomping on the line work, people. Just quit it.
That's been one of my major complaints about some colorists over the years, is that they just wash out all that wonderful line work, and you don't even get to see it unless you have a black and white copy of the book.
A lot of modern colorists, if you handed them a Bernie Wrightson piece, they would ruin it in the first 5 minutes they crack it open in Photoshop. They would stomp all over it, and it would turn into mud.
What were you going to say, Dan?
I was going to say, is that the same as a color hold?
A what?
Color hold. Knockout, same thing as a color hold, right?
Now you got me curious. Now you got me wondering if I'm using it, if that's the same, if those are terms for the same thing, or if I'm thinking something else.
Yeah, because
I always call it knockouts because I've always heard when you replace the black lines with color version of those lines, I've always heard that called a knockout.
Okay, yeah, I've heard it called a color hold, and I've told colorists that I don't want that. They'll take like the ink lines, and especially on hair or something. I think it looks okay with like gas or liquid, sometimes like that, but never on a solid item.
I will usually, when I hand my stuff to a colorist, a lot of times I will tell them no knockouts unless I hand you notes for it.
Yeah.
If I hand you a note that says knockout for this, whenever you see this, that gets a knockout. And I've done so much work in the last couple of years that my stuff's been touched by a handful of different people. And there's a couple of those people who I have just wanted to smack them right in the damn mouth. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing to my poor inks?
Yeah.
But
You're very protective of your inks.
That's the nature of doing this for a living, though, is that, sometimes people get a hold of your stuff, and that's just, there's a point where you don't have the control over that anymore, which, is what
now,
it is.
See this, what Lori says right here? She loves a good black and white comic, and she always keeps the ink layer. And when they get to the next 4, she prints a mini trade in black and white and binds it with her own cover.
Oh, I thought you said she binds it with her own hair.
But yeah, bring back black and white. Bring it back.
I'll tell you something that me and Dirk have been talking about, and I'm really hoping we can make it happen, is releasing a special edition of Homestead here in about maybe a year or so, or less than a year. A special, what I would call the Artist's Archive edition of it, that would be black and white and on different paper that's not glossy, so it's just, so those lines just suck up the light from it. I would love to see that. And then the other thing that I would love to do, and some book that I'll work on is going to have this done. I don't know which one yet, but there is going to be a book where I do this, where I will put out floppies. Like, a lot of these books are getting floppies because it's not my call. But if I put out a book as a floppy, I want to put that thing out in the absolute cheapest format possible, and actually do horror comics where I pre-degrade the covers.
So that I've seen some beautiful aged looking.
We did that with Bane of the Werewolf. I've
seen some beautiful aged looking covers that were really pristine, but they looked like they had creases and corners. You know what I mean?
I want that for some of my stuff so bad.
But yeah, the old school dude. Cool. Old school.
Tyler did a lot of that.
A lot of these guys, they're out here and they're making comics, and what they don't understand is comic fans. We want a good comic, a good story with some good art, and what it's printed on has never really been a fan issue. It's a creator issue. Okay, we don't care. You look at people buy alternate comics all the time. Alternative's been newsprint for 20 years. They still buy them because we buy comic books. We're not buying the production. We're buying a comic book. Treat it like a comic book, guys. Newsprint is fine with us. 60 grain fucking stock for your cover is fine with us. We're not going to complain. Now, if you make a stretch goal where where when you reach that, you upgrade something in the production, that's awesome. You just made the money to do it. But you guys go out of pocket, way out of pocket sometimes, and then you wonder why you can't get it back. And it's like, lower the cost a little bit. We don't care as comic fans. We want the comic. We want to be able to read it. Whether it's newsprint or 40 stock or whatever the hell, a collector doesn't care. A comic fan doesn't care. It's you guys. It's the creators that are putting these demands on yourselves for the perfect production. And then sometimes you price collectors out of being able to buy your product.
Hey, Pops, got a serious question. What is your thought? And I've been wanting to experiment with this model, which is the Girl Genius model done by Phil Folio. You put it out for free. Then after you've gotten X amount, you say, hey, I'm going to do a Kickstarter. Meanwhile, you've been mining for emails the whole time, and you just put out graphic novels. And he averages about $250,000 to $750,000 on that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have to build that following. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen on one book unless it's the goddamn Bible or something. You know what I mean? It's just not. This is indie comics, man. We're a small niche. We still are a small niche. You got a few people. You got Brian. You got Polito. You got some people that are out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that's a very small amount of people that are making that kind of money, guys. And most of them had huge followings before they came to Kickstarter or crowdfunding, and they bring that following with them when they throw their product up for sale.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I had a following of 500,000 people, because all you guys would be making money if I, as a promoter, had a following of 500,000 people, right? I don't have that. You know, am I trying to build it? Hell yeah, we're trying to build something big up in here to help everybody sell books. And everybody misses that bottom line for me. It's about helping people sell books. If I can help you sell a book, that's why I'm here. You know, we did drop the link again over here for this campaign. We dropped it over on the Twitter, dropped it on Pilled. Let me see. Did I drop it on Rumble? See, because we're everywhere. Yeah, it's on Rumble. You guys go check out Dan's campaign.
Okay. Yeah. My model also has been a little different because of dealing with public outreach comics, where they ask for floppies, and then I make X amount. They put it out. It's a free book. It's done. But to get back to the point, what is your thought on the try it free model, where it's just out there so anybody can look at it? Do you think that's a good model?
This is how I would go about that in a different way. I wouldn't put my number one comic of a title on that and give it away. I would do some type of an Ashcan preview of this is what we're going to be selling. These are the characters. This is the synopsis of the story, and give that away. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't give my story away, because that's what I'm trying to sell people.
Okay, because let me just show you. If you could look up Girl Genius and post that for a moment.
Look up what?
Girl Genius.
You want me to just run through the rest of this page so we can?
Yeah. I apologize.
Because I know Russ has to show his art and everything like that.
Yeah, I apologize.
No, I'll just run through.
I ain't got to show shit, man.
Well, I was like Phil Folio fan as well. I used to really like his work.
This
is
only Phil Folio stuff that I'm familiar with is Xenophile.
Xenophile, yeah. He had a lot of great inking collaborators on that. But yeah, this is Sorority having a meeting, and this is the interior art by Rob Banbury, who's again does all of 16. We have another variant cover from him coming up, so he does some great like musculature on the muscle characters and just anatomy overall. And then in that issue of Sorority Power, we have Pink Puma guest starring. So I'm reoffering the Pink Puma Red Rooster book, which is her first appearance. This has a Bill Mouse cover as well. We had Leo Gundam doing the interior art on that. So that is a add-on. And then I'm always getting requests for the Argo 5 trade. So I put Volume 1 and Volume 2 up on the Kickstarter. Volume 1 having issues 0 to 5. Volume 2 having issues 6 through 11. So yeah, that. But Argo 5, like I said, I'm up to 47. Gonna have a Volume 3. Gonna try to get trades of all the past books of Argo 5. This is Kevin Sharp doing the cover. With Giuseppe Pica colors. And then we had Alan Goldman doing, Kevin Sharp was kind of known, I guess, doing a lot of Marvel work. I remember X-Men Savage Land was his, but he did a lot of Marvel and work. Alan Goldman had done Justice League. So again, we had him doing the Volume 2 trade paperback cover. And a lot of the bigger names providing pinups over in those volumes. And they're available as like a catch-up tier on the bottom, which gets you most everything we did, or they're available as add-ons within the campaign.
It's good stuff. There's some good looking work there. I like the work of the. I can't remember the dude's name. Say his name again. The guy who did what's on the screen right now.
Oh, Alan Goldman.
Yeah, I dig that stuff. That's some nice work.
Yeah, no, he's a really phenomenal talent. I've had a number of covers from him throughout these books. And he does have, I think, the volume 3 cover. So I am working on volume 3. But
yeah, I liked that one. Scroll back. On down. That one right there.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me, of course, it could just be the screen blurring a little bit, but it reminds me of Mark Texeira.
Okay. Yeah, Kevin Sharp, again, he did a fair amount of work for Marvel. Just seeing who we have in that trade paperback as far as pinups are concerned. Let's see. We have Terry Dodson, Gene Ha, Tom Rainey, Mike McCone, Louis Small Jr.
Oh, I know Louis. Crap, man. I ain't talked to Louis I ain't talked to him in probably 20 years, but yeah, I remember Louis.
A large number of pinups from him throughout the years.
Oh, that's cool.
Him and another name.
A couple names in there that I really like. Gene Ha is a good one.
Yep, I like Gene.
Yeah, his top 10 book was literally in my top 10 favorite comics of all time.
That's good stuff, man. So how's that Kickstarter going right now?
Yeah, it's going well. Like I said, we are funded, but just trying to make it some of the stretch goals. Just to say that this volume, I just want to read off quickly the pinups in this one. We have Kevin McGuire, Mike McCone, Jim Calafiore.
Ooh, I like him. Yeah, he's a good one.
One guy I particularly thought of with you, Les, is that besides Louis Small Jr., he might be the most pinups I've had, in addition to Tim Vigil.
Yeah, Tim's the shit.
Yeah,
that's a freaking beast.
Yeah, that's Tim's in my mind. Every day I sit down and draw, and in my mind I'm like, okay, I like working inside what I call the Bernie Wrightson School.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, current to tippity top of that, and there's very few even trying to do that now, which I think is wild. And of those who I would put in that school of thought, Tim Vigil and Liam Sharp are, like the tippity top. Those are the guys I'm like, okay, I'm coming for you. Those are the guys.
I gotta throw Joe in there too. I gotta throw Joe Vigil in there too. He's just the same. He's just.
I don't know Joe Vigil.
This is brother. It's Tim's brother, dude.
Yeah, I think D. Justine was his most well-known book.
I think he did like the Sin Buck series and whatnot. Yeah,
Sin Buck. Yeah, that was also true. I think they both did London Night work, as well as the Rebel Studios.
I love that shit.
But yeah, Tim, I actually got to know pretty well through the conventions, just because he always seemed to make the New York convention circuit.
I saw him a few months ago at C2E2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's still out there dogging it, man.
Yeah, no, he was always very generous, and almost any big name that I've met was fine with me. I said I'm a self-publisher. Would I be able to use it as a pinup? And almost 100%. I'll say 99.9. They've all been like, yeah, sure, it's all good. And again, Rob Liefeld even going to the point of use it however you like, which again, I'm not going to usually ask these guys to make it a cover or something because I know, the amount that they're usually compensated for that. But Rob, I had gotten a number of pieces from, and him saying use it however you like. Again, that's how we did end up with one Rob Liefeld cover.
That's how I end up with all kinds of art. People just send me something and say, just do whatever you want with it. I'm cool, that's awesome. And like Bill Moss has done a few prom pieces for me. It's like, so just because he's part of what you're doing right now, I gotta throw his name out there again. Love that dude, man. There's so many killer people doing art in this medium, and man, y'all, co-opetition is the word of the day, guys. Work together, promote each other, help each other sell books. That's how this medium grows. It doesn't grow by everybody sitting in their house doing their own thing. You got to be out there. You got to cross promote with people. You got to promote yourself. You have to, or your book ain't nobody's going to know about it. There's a lot of work involved in this outside of the art and the writing. There's still a lot of work if you want your book in people's hands. So, take it into consideration, people. These guys are wearing many hats when they try to do something like this. They don't have Marvel and DC doing all the heavy lifting for them. Okay, so give them credit when they're out here trying to do a Kickstarter and they have a funding goal they're trying to reach. Give them some love, man. Give them some love.
Dan, I'm going to thank you for hanging out with us today. It's usually pretty laid back on here. So, and I think we're a little bit past the hour mark. So, we'll hope to have you back again sometime. And Pops, if you want to take us on out, we'll see you next week.
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Dan, give everybody where they can find you. Make sure you drop your socials for people. Tell them how they can find you before we go.
On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, DeviantArt, all the socials pretty much are Argo Comics. I do have a Dan Sen Facebook as well, so that's the only place I really double up. But yeah, YouTube, we have Argo Comics, and of course, the link is here for the Kickstarter, but if you just search Sorority of Power on Kickstarter, you're going to get that as well. And, it's our 11th campaign, so we are fulfilling pretty quickly each time and going on to the next one. And we also have the Thunder Zone line, so Thunder Zone on Facebook as well.
All right.
Very cool.
Now, Dan, I want you to know this network is a promotional network, and we have shows that are designed specifically to come out here and talk about your campaigns and show them to people. If you want to get on Monday Madness sometime or something before this is over, let me know. I'll get you out on another show. We'll get out here with Levi. We'll let Levi grill you a little bit. We'll do the thing. So
I'd love to. And actually tonight I am on a Silverline show.
There you go. Yeah.
So
that's network, but that's not just network. Like I said, we got like 18 days left. Get with me for the last Monday before the campaign ends.
All right, I appreciate it.
And we'll get you out here for Monday Madness and tell everybody, hey, the last couple of days, come get some. That kind of stuff.
Great.
All right. You know how to reach me, Pops Van Zandt on Facebook. Just hit me up. We'll solidify something.
Sounds good.
Les, tell people where they can find you, Les. Tell them.
You can slap my name in any search engine. It's going to come up. God, I got to think. I got so many projects right now. Like I can't keep track of all the URLs. Best thing to do is just go to Les Garner Artist on Facebook or sixus1.com is the page for the website for me, my studio, my publishing business. So, which it's probably horribly out of date. I know it's horribly out of date. Look at that.
You're an artist. You ain't got time for all that.
It's like those who can do, those who can't have really nice up-to-date websites.
Or they're paying somebody to handle it for them, right?
Yeah. Actually, probably the absolute best way to reach me is through my agent, which is Derek Blaha at Malice Media. So I recently signed on for representation from a firm out of Austin, Texas called Malice Media. And I don't remember the damn URL of that off the top of my head. Derek's probably going to watch this and kill me.
Do me a favor. I want to interview somebody from Malice Media. Just set that up for me, would you?
Oh, yeah.
Try to get him to come out on your try to get him to come out on the show.
Malice is an interesting group. They represent they've got a few artists they represent, and they represent a lot of actors. Like I know they represent pretty much all the actors from the Mortal Kombat video games. I think they've got I think they do most of the actors from the first couple of Resident Evil games.
Yeah, but let's get that guy out here so we can find out for sure what they have and make sure that people know how to find them so they could possibly take advantage of that as well.
And the URL I have to pimp today, or Charles is going to slap me, is get.hplovecrafttarot.com. That's where you can go to and sign up for the get into the pre-launch sign up for the HP Lovecraft Tarot that will be launching. I believe we're launching that the weekend of April 5th. We've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe with that. That's going to be a big damn deal.
All right, Les. Charles can't get on you about not sharing it. He was here. He could have dropped that link.
That's right.
Drop that link. I'm just saying.
So, yeah, we're going to be doing a big launch thing, I believe, at the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee on the weekend of April 5th. So that should be fun. There's going to be an interesting footprint for us at that show because of.
You gonna ride a train to Milwaukee?
I'll drive.
Well, if you're driving, you need to stop, pick me up. I'm on the way. It's not like you'd be going out of your way to get me.
Well, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll take you with us, dude. We'll see.
Yeah, we set up. I'll broadcast from the damn floor. You know
that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd
Actually,
I'll
I'll see if Charles is in Chicago, and he just shoots right across to Milwaukee for stuff.
Yeah, I'm just a couple hours east of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to talk to Charles, and Charles may swing out and get you. See, I will go up. I will go up to Chicago and then cut across. That's the shortest path for me. Because I'm not. I'm pretty damn far
in Chicago.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm in Southwest Michigan. I'm before you get to Chicago.
You're east of me by a lot. Yeah,
I'm in Kentucky. Tennessee, man.
I'm in the western tip of Kentucky. I'm 40 minutes north of I'm 40 minutes from Tennessee, at the tip of Kentucky. I'm almost in Missouri.
Okay, yeah. You'd be coming back a little bit. I see where you're at.
Yeah, now where I used to live, I would go up and cut across, and I'd come right by you, but. Yeah. I'm 5 hours difference from there now.
I'm just on the bottom of the lake on the east side of Michigan, Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I think that's about it for me for today. I apologize, everybody. I know I've been a little on the quiet side today. I'm actually super exhausted. It's been I've had so much work to do the last few days. I've been actually pulling some late nights and stuff. It's cool. I'm happy to have the work, but man, I'm tired. So I was literally about to take myself a 30-minute power nap right before the show, and a client called, and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
But the clients pay the bills, so
that's right.
I was going to ask if Pops was anywhere near Sheboygan.
Say again?
I was going to ask if you're anywhere near Sheboygan, Michigan.
I'm like about 30 miles south of Kalamazoo,
Oh, okay.
southwest corner.
I used to be in a APA, and the guy was from Sheboygan, Michigan. He had Captain Sheboygan character.
That's got to be a lake town. It's got to be the name of a town that's on Lake Michigan, right?
That is like the most made up sounding name for a town I've heard in ages.
Yeah, he owned a comic store. He was pretty well known in his area, but
That's wild. Well, guys, I am done. I got a stuffy nose and I'm about to fall asleep. So let's call this one for the day. Dan, it was good having you out, man.
thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. It was fun. All right.
Good to meet you. We'll try to get Bill to come out with you.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll try to get Bill to come out with you when we get you out for this. That'll work. All right, people. You know why we're here. You know why we're leaving. That's it. Go back the book. Go check out Dan's book. Back it. Share it out because you never know. One of your friends might like it too. Just tell the world about what people like these guys do. That's what I try to do. And the more you help me, the longer everybody's reach gets. Peace, everybody.
Later, y'all.
Take care.
I think we'll play this ad right here, though, for Mr. Barron real quick. What do you think? A little Mike Barron out here for people. Leviathan. Check it out.
When a series of shipping disasters points to a mysterious sea monster, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson leave the comfort of Baker Street and board a freighter where they encounter unexpected betrayal and come face to face with the enigmatic Captain Nemo and his submarine, the Nautilus. As they delve deeper into the case, they uncover a conspiracy involving a Russian Tsar with an airship that rains destruction on unsuspecting cities. With time running out and the world on the brink of war, the heroes must use all their skills and resources to stop a massive conspiracy and prevent global conflict. From Eisner-winning writer Mike Barron and illustrator Richard Bong, dive into the depths of adventure and unravel the mysteries of the sea with the world's greatest detective in Leviathan. Order now at baroncomics.com.
On the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens day.